watch the Chicago way.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Monday night edition of What's Up, Cuz? I am your host, Jason Palmer. Joining me is my cousin, the coach himself. He's got a little sniffle and a cough, ladies and gentlemen. Pay that no mind. Lancey Irvin, Mr. Healthy Fit person. How did you catch a cold, Lance?
You know what? I'm not gonna claim the cold, cuz I'm not gonna claim
cold
it.
claiming you.
Well, it's trying to, but if you're a real killer like I am, I'm not gonna let the little cold beat me. But you know, I'm happy to be here, cuz I didn't think you was gonna show up. To be totally honest, let me tell you why I didn't think you was gonna show up.
Uh-oh.
First of all, I want to wish you happy birthday.
Oh, thank
So
you, sir.
for everybody that doesn't know, my cousin had a birthday. What was it? Wednesday or Thursday? Was it
Thursday? Yes.
Was it Thursday? So you know, I called my cousin and he answered the phone after the 15th ring and told me he was drinking an adult beverage and eating cake with his wife. So I don't want to bother him. And then what was that? Yesterday, did y'all have some Luther South stuff going on and all the other stuff? What was that, Friday?
I did. I had a high school class reunion over the weekend as well. So I had a really good time with that. Got to see some people I had not seen in God knows how long. And had a really good time. So definitely went to my second class reunion this year from my other school and really enjoyed myself. So I've been busy this weekend, but I do appreciate the phone call from you.
Yeah, I mean, busy is an understatement, cuz. But in that true sense of being a cousin, I knew you was gonna be able to show up. I would have been disappointed if you didn't, but I'm not gonna hold you up for doing the introduction. Except, normally I ask you what you want. You have that whatever color that is. What's that teal to whatever.
But I'll wait for you. Orange, just aqua and orange, man. Thank
you. Okay, I'm just flexing on my bear stuff, but I'm gonna get out your way. Let me get out your way. Let you do what you do.
All right, everybody, welcome to What's Up, Cuz? I am Jason Palmer, along with my cousin Nicole Lancey Irvin. If this is your first time watching What's Up, Cuz, we appreciate you tuning in for the first time. Make sure you come and check us out every Monday night live here from the Chicago area from 6 to 8 p.m. For those of you watching us on the Sports Zone Chicago YouTube channel, we appreciate you tuning in there. You can go ahead and like and subscribe to that channel. That will give you access to all of our shows that we have here on Sports Zone Chicago, and we do have plenty of them. We give it to you real, from true Chicagoans and true Chicago sports fans. So, you're going to hear it from us with all the passion and everything else. For those of you who are joining us on the Sports Zone Chicago Roku channel, remember we have our Roku channel that we launched earlier this year. The Sports Zone Chicago Roku channel is available. Go ahead and download that on your Roku, and you can tune in anywhere in the world where you have your Roku with you. And for those of you joining us on the Facebook platform, we appreciate you joining us there. Send us your comments and questions. And if you are watching us on the app, the Sports Zone Chicago app, we appreciate you tuning in there. We know you got it on your iPad, on your telephones, your Androids, and all that good stuff. So we appreciate you watching us on the app. If you do not have the app, my cousin Lance is getting ready to tell you where you can get it.
If you don't have the app, you can follow us on the iTunes store, the Amazon store, and the Google Play store. Follow me on my social media accounts, and also follow my cousin Jason on his social media account where he used to write stories, but since he was partying, he forgot to write a story. But I'm not mad though. I'm not mad.
I was partying. This is true. I did party this weekend. I had a long week of work, so I felt the need to get out there and shake my booty. So yes, I did party. So, all right, everybody, welcome to What's Up, Cuz. We're gonna get into some of the topics that have happened over this last time that we've been with you, especially this weekend, and we have to do it. We have to do it because we have not done it this year. Your Chicago Bears got to win.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
By
Give it up for those Bears.
some miracle, the Bears win. I
Woo.
can't believe it. Finally,
Woo.
the Chicago Bears have found a team in the actual NFL that they can beat. And they did it as the Bears defeated the Washington Commanders this past Thursday out there in D.C. Maybe that was what the problem is. You all need to play on a Thursday and not a Sunday, Lancer.
You know what? I was gonna take my glasses off and I was gonna act like Michael Irvin, the playmaker. But Jay, how about those Bears? Cuz how about those Bears? Cuz let me adjust my seat. I think the score was like 40-20, 40-20. And Justin Fields, Jay, can you believe it? Justin Fields threw for more than 12 yards. He threw for about 327 yards, Jay. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. He's throwing downfield. He found a best friend in DJ Moore. Our defense actually sacked the quarterback. I don't know. It was just a great time, because it was a great time. But I must tell you, let me slow down a little bit. In the fourth quarter, I was really nervous, though, Jay. I was really nervous. I think the score was like 30-20, Jay, and I just said that. I was like, oh no, not like last week. Please not like the Denver Broncos. So after we scored down the stretch, I was able to exhale a little bit, Jay. But how about those Bears, though? Cuz come on, Jay, give it up. Give it up for your former team.
My former team. I'll give it up for my former team and the team of all my friends. I was happy for y'all because I don't know how much more of this I'd have been take watching all these miserable people walk around Chicago because of the Chicago Bears. And it was funny because you were very truthful with what you just said. You were getting nervous there when it was down to 10, and you're like, oh man, here comes Washington. And that was the sentiment of every Bears fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that shows you where this fan base is, where everyone's on edge about everything that this team does. They're not really confident in this team, but the Bears, they hung on. They pulled it out. They got a victory. Justin Fields played phenomenal. DJ Moore played phenomenal. But what I want to say is that it seems as though the fans and the Chicago media are the ones coaching this team. And I say that because Matt Eberflus and Luke Gessie changed everything because the fans and the media were going bananas on them. They were screaming at them, you're not using Justin Fields the right way. Why are you not calling more quarterback design runs? What type of system is this you got him in? He's not a pocket passer. Roll him out. Do this, do that. Why are we not throwing the ball to DJ Moore? Why do we keep throwing these stupid screens? I didn't hardly see a screen in the game. They were throwing the ball down the field. They were stretching the field out. Justin Fields was moving in the pocket. So I'm serious. I think the pressure got to this coaching staff, or someone from above their head, Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren, told them, look, y'all need to change this because it ain't working. And we getting lambasted in the media right now.
Let me say this, Jay. I think Kevin Warren probably said something, because if you remember the Denver Bronco game, he left the field without saying much to anybody. They said during the press conference, he walked through, really didn't say much. So that tells me, just me and being around sports all my life, that probably came from the top. Because
Really?
at the end of the day, yeah, I'm saying it came from the top, Jay. Because let's just think about this. That was our fourth game, right?
Yeah.
We did the same thing we did game 1, game 2, game 3. Would you agree? Exact same thing from an offensive standpoint.
I wouldn't say the exact same,
but
close. I think the turnovers killed you in the last few minutes.
Yeah, I think the turnovers, but we very seldom went vertical. We really wasn't throwing the ball downfield, right? So I think he said something, and like you said, the media was on them. You had Stephen A. Smith hollering the Bears out in atrocity. You had him screaming that. Dan Orlovsky was saying that the Bears don't know what to do with Justin Fields. They doing him a disservice. You
Yeah.
had so many people screaming at a high pitch. You really didn't have nothing else. And then they start saying this, Jay. Flus. They were saying he couldn't coach. He just went from, see, this how fickle people are, though. Some coach. Last year, oh, he was doing a good job. They was disciplined. They was gonna be okay. You lose those many games, Jay. They started calling for his head. How is he coaching in the NFL? They were saying he was bad, right? You heard those screams. So
Yeah.
now the pressure of the screams, you had, I think Kevin Warren said something. I think he did, Jay, because it changed too fast. And I have been saying on the show, Jay, for the past week or 2 or 3, until we can throw the ball downfield, Jay, and get
Mm-hmm.
more than 13 points, you can't
Mm-hmm.
win. Who are you gonna
Mm-hmm.
beat? You have to have a deep ball threat, and we had one, and we wasn't using it. Then, Jay, to think about all this now, you have Claypool gets traded
Yeah.
for a
I was
little
getting
bit
ready
of
to get
what?
into that too.
I'll let you get
Uh-huh.
in that. For a little bit of nothing. You can barely got it. Jay, what did we get in return? A little bit of nothing. So now all these things start adding up, Jay. So I don't know, but let me hear you talk about it.
So
What's your
I
take?
guess let me ask you this question too before I answer. Let me ask you this question because I think it is important. Do you trust the Bears now? They've got this win. Do you trust them?
I'm going to say this, Jay. At this point in time, I have to say no because the sample size is not big enough for me to say I trust them. You could fool me with one game, like I tell my players all the time. Even the deuce of diamonds can win a hand in a card game. So with that being said, I I need to see a little bit more because we could go right
Okay.
back. We could go right back to the Bears that's throwing screen passes, right
Yeah.
back to the Bears that's not able to put pressure on the quarterback, right
Yeah.
back to the Bears of coming out after a loss saying the coaching staff is not putting us in position for us to succeed.
Okay. That's a really good point. I agree with you. The reason why I asked the question though was because there were so many Bears fans who almost forgot the previous 4 games.
Oh
Like,
no.
acting like that never
No.
happened. And I'm sitting here like, y'all won 1 game and you didn't really beat a top NFL team. Uh, okay. I wouldn't say the season changed. What I will say is that for the past 2 games, Justin Fields has looked a heck of a lot better.
He
He's looked
has.
more comfortable. He looks in better rhythm. So maybe he can play in this system. Maybe he will become an effective NFL quarterback. But for me, I don't believe in him. I still don't believe in him. Like you said, the
Ooh.
sample size of what I've got is Justin Fields is too big. He's had 2 really good passing games here since he's kind of been here, and it's been in the last 2 weeks. I mean, he's played how many NFL games? Almost 30.
About 30 plus.
So,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm looking at his whole NFL career, let's say I give him 4 out of 30, that ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work, man. But he still has a lot of season left, which I've been saying this year. Ride with him through the whole season if you want to. But if he keeps playing the way he did the first 3 games, you got a serious problem, and you got to figure out what you want to do at that position.
Exactly, cousin. We want the young man to have a great season. We really
Yeah.
do. I want him to have like a Jalen Hurts type season, right? I
Mm-hmm.
really do. But does he have enough weapons to have a season like
Yes.
that to improve
Yes.
like he did in year 3? You saying yes? Why you say yeah? Cause I
He
mean,
got
is the
weapons, man.
line is the
He get,
line strong enough?
he getting time, dog. He getting time. That ain't the problem. He
Yeah,
getting
yeah, you
time.
are.
You got to run the ball. The play calling is killing them You know, you got to run the ball. I'm sorry. I think about what my Dolphins do, but we run the damn ball. People don't talk about that. The Bears got to run the ball, and that will alleviate a lot of the pressure on Justin Fields. I think the line has been giving him enough time. I think he's just got to go out there and play and throw that pill, man. And that's what he's been doing the last couple of games. You know, the play caller has definitely changed. You know, which is more conducive to his style of play, without a doubt. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, bottom line is he got to play. And so I was happy to see him just go out there and do that. And, you know, now we'll see what he can do with it. But, you know, like I said previously on the show, look, at the end of the day, it's up to you. It's up to you, man. You're an NFL quarterback on one of the charter franchises in the NFL. At a certain point, the excuses got to stop, and you just got to go out there and perform. Or you got to go.
You do, cuz, and I'm not gonna contradict myself because I said on the show a couple of weeks ago, he was holding on to the ball longer than any quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that let me know he was getting enough time to throw it. So hopefully he has turned the corner. Hopefully the team will continue to get better. And then on the defensive end, Jay, if you can't pressure the quarterback, you're going to struggle.
True.
So you have to continue to dial up pressure, make good open field tackles. But, Jay, you also have to be consistent. And I'm not letting them out that easy because nobody was letting me off that easy. If you're not consistent, you're going to struggle. So hopefully they figured out some ways to make him look better and make the offense look better.
Yes. So we'll see. We'll see if the Bears can continue. They play again on next Sunday. So we'll see how well they can do.
Hey, Jay, the next 3 games real quick. The Vikings, the Raiders, and the Chargers.
All right. All beatable teams. Yep. Don't know about the Chargers, but, you know, everybody else is beatable. But it's the NFL any given Sunday. That's why they're such a great movie. All right. Also, final bit of Bears news, which is also Dolphin news. Claypool is now a Dolphin. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Thank you, Bears. We appreciate this. We really needed a big receiver so that when we get down by the red zone, we have that person we just throw it up and say, go get it to. We're hoping it's going to be Chase Claypool, and we only traded a 7th round draft pick?
7th round pick. What was it, 6? I think it might have been 6. I can't remember, Jay. It was 6 or 7. But let me ask you this, cuz. You over there real happy.
Yes, I am.
Why did the Bears get rid of Claypool? Because I'm hearing, Jay, he was having problems. And you a little bit. They said he had problems on his last team before he came here now. So are you guys taking on the head case? Or is the team so deep where you really don't need him and you hope he'll fall in line?
It's a combination of a few things. One, what you just said. He ain't going to be better than Tyreek Hill. He ain't going to be better than Jalen Waddle. He ain't going to be better than Raheem Mostert. He ain't going to be better than our new rookie Ache.
He's good.
Yeah, probably going to be the rookie of the year.
He's good.
He ain't better than half our receiving team right now. Matter of fact, I put Cedric Wilson in front of him right now. He's a 3rd receiver. He ain't coming in to be the man. He coming in to try to save his NFL career. And that's keeping it real. Because if you now screw up with your 3rd NFL team, ain't nobody else going to touch you. You're going to be poisoned. So he's actually playing for his career. So his work ethic should be a lot better. And I think that was the biggest problem that the Bears had with him. Even during the offseason, he was over in Europe doing stuff, modeling. So the question is, do you want to be a football player or do you want to be a model? And I don't have a problem with it. The young man, 6'5", he's 200-something pounds. The women all seem to like him, apparently look good in clothes. Maybe he is a fashion model and not a football player. Maybe that is where his money is. Maybe he should just retire from the NFL. Maybe that's why he don't really want to get in, because he's thinking about his modeling career. But here's the thing he's got going for him. If he really want to be a model, this city right here, that's a good city for him to go down there and do his thing. Imagine if he's now a Miami Dolphin, they go on and win a Super Bowl, and he want a model, and he in Miami. he got the life right there. The only other place he can go would be Los Angeles.
But Jay, like you said, I don't mind them modeling. I really don't. But keep the business the business. You're a professional football player. Model on the side, I get all that, but your modeling can't overtake your football career because the opportunities you have to play a sport you grew up playing that most of us that played loved, you would think you would keep the business. And you in
I
Chicago,
can tell
Jay, you can model in Chicago. That's
he
what
can.
the
He
fifth biggest
can.
market? What?
He can, but I can counter that with in modeling, he ain't gonna get his head knocked off. Playing professional football is serious business, Lance. It really is. I mean, there is an increased risk of danger or death playing NFL football. Let's keep it real. So if he can make more money as a model, and he got to make that business decision, make that business decision. But don't hold up a spot for somebody else. You get what I'm saying? Like there may be another NFL player who could be taking that spot on a roster if you don't really have your heart into it. And I hope he's not coming down to Miami with that. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's coming down there. He's going to play because, one, the Dolphins are 10 times better than the Bears. That's for one. So he already know, oh, man, even if I do go into modeling, if I can get a Super Bowl and then go into modeling, oh, that's even better. So it's in his best interest to do well. Two, he's a professional athlete. They all have egos. He don't want to go out like no sucker. He don't want to go out like no sucker. So he going to go out there. He going to play. He got a quarterback that's very accurate, one of the most accurate in the league in Tua, who's going to get him the ball when he ain't hitting Tyreek and Waddle and Wilson and the tight end and Mostert and everybody else. So that's what I'm saying. There's no pressure on Chase. We ain't expecting him to come in and be the man.
No, and he's playing on the fastest team in the NFL. And like you said,
Right.
you're playing with a quarterback that's very accurate, and you playing with a coach that's a good offensive play caller. So you're in a situation where you can succeed if you do what you do. But now, if you don't keep your business to business, you're going to struggle. You're going to be out the NFL. Which man, Jay, I get it, and you and I both know those contracts are not guaranteed in the NFL. And that money that he has the opportunity to make in the NFL, Jay, is it greater than being a model? I don't
never seen no models. I don't know how good or bad.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you see. I said, I don't know.
Right.
But Jay, if you could have a 6-year career in the NFL, you're doing something. I mean, that's a lot of money on the board. And Jay, once again, you still can improve your brand. You on TV every Sunday, and you on every sports talk show if you do well. So your brand is increasing. You're increasing. So I hope the young fella makes the most of his opportunity with the Dolphins. But when I heard he got traded to the Dolphins, Jay, I said, dang, they picked up more speed on top of speed. I said, I know Jason's sitting there shaking his head like, and we gave Jay for nothing. We basically gave him away.
Hey, we gave you something. We gave you a draft pick. What do you want from us?
You gave us a draft pick that can't help us right now. What is that draft pick going to do for us?
We gave you a 7th round pick.
You gave us a 7th round pick.
Yes.
I mean, Jay, could we at least got a 3rd? We got a 7th.
No,
what does that
Chase
tell you?
Claypool? Hell no.
What does that CJ? So we gave away we give away like a 32nd pick.
You gave us a pick, and we gave you. I think we gave you a 6th.
No, I'm saying
us a 7th.
I'm saying, didn't we give when we traded for him what something I can't remember.
Oh yeah, you gave around 2nd round. You gave up a 2nd round pick.
2nd round pick. So you gave him a 2nd round pick for that. Then you basically.
That's on Ryan Poles. That's him. That's the 2nd time he done screwed up with somebody. He what's the dude y'all cut during the preseason, the quarterback, PJ Walker. He was giving him a lot of money to come in there, and then he didn't even make the damn team. So I mean Ryan Poles making rookie GM mistakes. I keep saying that, people trying to ignore that. He hired a bad coach. He hired, he trading picks away from people that don't work out. I mean, it's like the 3rd thing he done. This is a major screw up on this Chase Claypool, man. This is a major screw up.
Hey Jay, and we always saying, well, he came from Kansas City, or when somebody comes from an organization that's winning, and he came from this organization, like he came from the New England Patriots and all that.
Yeah.
Well, you're not necessarily making the calls. You sit next to the man making the calls. And thinking about the Patriots, Jay, this is all I'm gonna say. How about an organization that just went to crap in a short period of time? They can't win a game.
You know what the Patriots are suffering from?
My goodness. What, Tom Brady? What?
They are suffering from the same thing the Bulls suffered from. The Patriots are suffering from organizations win championships, not players. When Jerry Krause said that stupid stuff, talking about organization win championship, not players, we were like, huh? With Jordan? Are you crazy?
That's like, I just cringe. Like, just say it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
But it's hand in hand. You can't tell me you have Michael Jordan.
The greatest basketball player of all time.
It's about the players. Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer. Dennis Rodman, Hall of Famer.
And then what is Tom Brady? What is Tom Brady?
Hall of Famer.
And the greatest quarterback of all time.
Exactly. They haven't been the same.
And they said they didn't, they basically like, oh, we got Belichick or whatever. Oh, okay.
Hey, Jay, and Paul, and I don't mean to change the subject, Jay, but as a coach, want the players to be in a great situation, I feel some type of way about Matt Jones, man. They basically failing the young fella, Jay. No, you got a defensive coordinator being an offensive coordinator. You got, Jay, for like, this is third different coordinator. Third.
Hey, not my team.
Yeah, it's not my team either. But I mean, I'm sorry to get on the tangent, but can we coach these people appropriately? My goodness, though.
Hey, I do not feel sorry for New England. All them damn championships they won. Oh no, let them suffer. Nobody care when the Blackhawks was going through their drama after we got them 3 Stanley Cups. So well darn, ain't my problem.
Hey Jay, my last point is this. I guess old TB12 was pretty damn good then, huh?
Exactly. I agree.
Hey, players make coaches. Players make coaches, man.
I agree with you 100%. Hey, we have reached the time for our first commercial break. We're going to take that commercial break, and we will be back in just about 2 minutes. You are watching What's Up, Cuz. Stay tuned.
No, I don't know, though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushrooms.
You've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Welcome back to What's Up, Cuz, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Jason Palmer, along with my cousin, the coach himself, Lance Irvin. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Everyone I know is affected by domestic violence in some shape, form, or fashion. We take this crime very seriously here on this show. Someone you know is going to be a victim of this crime. And we are trying to do our best to stomp this crime out. So that is why you will be seeing a lot of commercials about domestic violence run on Sports Zone Chicago. We actually do run them throughout the year. That's how serious we take it here as an organization. But this is October, and it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we are going to definitely focus on that a little bit more in our shows here in October, on all the shows we have here on Sports Zone Chicago. So just wanted to put that out there. If you or someone you know needs help, make sure you call that domestic violence help hotline that we showed in our previous commercial, and we'll be showing it again throughout our show today. All right, Lance Irvin. Big weekend here in Chicago. Big weekend here in Chicago. Do you know what was the big international sporting event we had here in Chicago?
You know what, Jay? If you ask me what Lance knows, this is probably what Lance knows question, and I would have went 100%. The Chicago Marathon, Jay, because you know how traffic gets, in Chicago. So, that was an easy one. So, I could count that as one of my questions. So I'm 1 for 1. What's Lance knows?
Okay. This isn't the one Lance knows segment, but okay.
Oh,
we'll
my
give
bad.
you credit.
My bad.
All right,
My bad.
We'll give you the credit. Yes, the Bank of America Chicago Marathon was held here in the city yesterday. And boy, oh boy, did we have us a race. Not because it was close, but because there was a new world record that fell here at the Chicago Marathon in the men's marathon. Oh my God, this dude I was like, where everybody else at? like I thought this was a race, and it was not a race, y'all. It was not a race. Lance, tell everybody what this man right here, what he did
Calvin
here in Chicago.
Set a new world record, Jay. I think it was 2 hours and maybe 35 seconds, if I'm
That's
correct.
That's right.
He set the new world record. And let me tell you the thing about him, Jay. It was his first time coming to Chicago and running.
Yeah.
He won the London Marathon, Jay, right? And
Yeah.
the man said at the London Marathon, JC, we only think basketball players, football, everybody. We the only ones talk crazy, right? He said then, I'm going to break the record in Chicago. So either he spoke it into existence or he was talking trash and talking crazy. Which one is it, cuz? Because he did it. He did it. And Jay, before you answer that, in 55-degree weather, which you said is optimal running condition, which I don't know how, because I'm getting cold even thinking about it. So let me get out your way.
Yeah. So when I saw the weather reports when they started the race, it was in the, upper 40s. And they said, as the race goes on, and, by the time the elite runners finish, it'll be kind of, in the low 50s. And they said the wind was only like 4 miles per hour. And I was like, oh, crap. That's like perfect for the marathon runners. And, and I'm not a marathon expert, but, we know a little bit about every sport. Kind of on these shows. We try to learn the basics, at least every sport. And I know from my friends who ran cross country, because in Illinois, it's a fall sport. They'll be running the championships like around this time of the year. And I was like, man, how y'all be out there in the cold? They're like, cold? They're like, man, that's perfect. I was like, no, dog, 72 is perfect. What you think? Like 72 is hot. If you got to run cross country or a marathon, that's too hot. You don't want that. They were like, you want it in them low 50s, upper 40s. You don't want it, in the low 40s or high 30s, but, them upper 40s, low 50s, that's perfect because your body, it's like a natural coolant system for your body as you sweat, you take in fluids. They're like, no, that's perfect. So when I heard that and I knew who was running the races, I was like, dude got a chance. Dude got a chance. Now, the problem is I didn't think everybody else was just going to fall off the map. I thought it was going to be like a group of them really pushing each other. Nah, KK was like, I'm out of here, dog. Peace.
Because he was going against the guy, I think his name was Benson, that won the race last year. So it wasn't like he was racing against some rookies. He was running against some runners, right? And for him, first time coming to Chicago on the course, Jay, I mean, would you say the conditions was picture perfect for him?
It
Because if it
was.
would have been hot, so you know what, Jay, he came through at the right time. But
Oh, without a doubt.
like you said though, he blew the competition away. So
He
he
blew, he
walked
blew
out
him
of
away, man.
he walked out of Chicago saying, "I'll holler at y'all next year."
Yes. So he is now on to the next big major race is in New York, the New York City Marathon, which takes
Okay.
place it's next month, I think.
Cause
Yeah, it's like the end of November. I think they'll get like a 6-week rest or something.
yep. And if I understand correctly, Jay, I don't think he's been running for that long. So shout out to the young fella. I shouldn't call him young fella, but shout out, Jay. I thought now don't start laughing. That's something I wanted to do, Jay, but these knees just won't
What?
hold up. Seriously, I always wanted to run a marathon. Like I wanted to test myself running a marathon. Like
I
that's
want to test myself running no marathon.
Jay. I wanted to test my mental toughness and my mental fortitude, Jay. 26 miles, Jay. It probably would have took me about 4 hours, but just to be out there grinding in the elements, Jay, running, finishing a marathon, it's Jay. It ain't a whole lot of us that can say we finished a marathon.
Oh,
I
man.
know I know two people, Jay, and I'm in my 50s that ran in a marathon. Two
I know
people.
too. I know
That's
too as
all.
well.
That's
I
all I
know too
know.
as well. And they
That's
did
all I
it.
know.
And one of them said after he did it, I ain't never doing that again. He said it was the most grueling, excruciating pain he ever felt the very next day. He said he felt like he was dying. And he
You
will never do it again. But he
see,
was very proud of himself. Matter of fact, when I go to his house, he still got like the banner thing on his wall. That's how proud of himself he is.
see, our next door neighbor, Akil Kalfani, who was Tracy back in the day, he ran it. He has run in several marathons, and I'm not sure if you know Chrissy Curtis. She's
Yeah.
ran in a couple marathons, so they both seem like they like running. So Jay, I just wanted. Too bad I can't try. We would never know because I would have loved to run in a marathon.
Okay. Well, you never know. It's never too late, but yes, you do have very bad knees. And I
Hey
don't
Jay,
think
let me
that's a good
ask you
idea.
this real quick though too. Let me ask
Yeah.
you this. You know how a lot of us say, black folks we don't like running a marathon. Well,
Yeah, we do.
KK is from Kenya,
Yeah.
so it's in our genes. It's in our
Yeah, most
genes.
of the best runners are from Africa.
But a lot of us will say, well, we just want to run short distance. I gotta say,
No, I think Black
you know,
Americans are like that. I think Africans are completely different. They see it as an opportunity to improve their status back in their home country and around the world, make a whole lot of money. Matter of fact, somebody, I
do
think it
they?
was six.
What they get for
Yeah,
winning?
I think it was six. Oh, you get a lot of money because you get
Do
them
you?
endorsement deals, all them
Ooh,
shoe contracts and all that type of stuff. I think it was 60 Minutes ran a piece on it a few years back about the
okay.
runners in Kenya and
Mhm,
how they train in Kenya in the heat, and a lot of times they're running without shoes
mhm.
as
Oh,
well.
uh-huh.
Yeah. So I mean, you should imagine running miles over that type of terrain in Africa, which can vary greatly, and then they give you a nice pair of new Nikes. All right, can you run on this? They're like, yeah, come on. So I think that's part of the reason why they're so good for real, because they're
Mhm,
training in very adverse conditions, so that when you put them in an actual race, their techniques, they've
mhm.
perfected their techniques, but they perfected their techniques in harsh environments. So then you put them in a great environment, and I think, today's athletes are also getting better too. So,
Yeah,
because he did a
yeah.
great job, which leads us to the next topic of conversation, because it wasn't just him. It was not just him, Lance Irvin. He
Who
set
was
the
that?
record, but guess what?
What?
Safar Hassan set a new course record
Where is she
on the
from?
women's side, and she is originally from Ethiopia, but she now runs for the Netherlands, and there she is celebrating.
Wow.
And I watched her come across the line. Same thing, just left the other wasn't nobody else around. So Safar Hassan wins the Chicago Marathon. She did hers in 2 hours and 13 minutes and some change, setting a new course record. And it was also her very first time running in the Chicago Marathon. So these are two first timers you have who came here and set a course record on the women's side and a world record on the men's side. So getting back to what I was saying earlier, the temperatures, the conditions was perfect. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention about the conditions, it was cloudy. That's the other thing. They don't really like the sun.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, they like cloudy skies. So if it's like a dreary day and it's in that temperature range and no wind, they like, oh yeah, that's perfect.
Hey Jay, if I'm a marathon runner, I'm sitting back saying, you know what? I'm running in the Chicago Marathon next year. It must be the course. They had to have a great course. The weather was great. Hey, they smashed world records in Chicago. I'm running in the shot. I got an opportunity. So what is he? Shout out to the young lady, Jay. I listened to her speak. She's articulate. I was happy for her. And Jay, man, how about that? Your first time in an event in the city and you win it. How about that?
But there's even more to it, Lance.
It's more than that.
It wasn't just her first time in Chicago. It was only the second time she ran a marathon.
Boy, I tell you, Jay.
Well,
The second time.
You've been training your whole life for marathons. And then somebody comes in and this is their second one and they win. And they win a set of course record. I'd be just retiring. I'd be like, well, this sport is over for me. Let me go play some ping pong or something because this is over.
And you know what, cuz you 100% correct because you know how we think. I used to sit there like, I've been doing this for 10 years. He's been doing this for a couple of months. And he done won like 30-something games. Look at Jay sitting there smiling. Hey.
Look at both of them. First time in Chicago for both of them. They coming out there like, yeah, we own this joint.
Jay, they like it's sweet in Chicago. And then they got their Nike gear on. They have their medallions and they looking at, hey, see how KK staring at people?
Right.
You see that look? It's sweet. And she like, hey, I did it. I see y'all next year. Jay was that second marathon and she just crushed the whole pack.
And crushed the whole pack in her second marathon. And now here's the question. See, if we were doing What's Up Cuz, I would have said this would have been the second question for What's Up Cuz. Where do you know Safan Hassan from?
Oh, let's see.
Think about it. We talked about her on our show about a month ago.
You got me stumped on that, cuz. Where's she from? What I know.
Got you stumped on that one? Do you remember when we talked about this on our show about a month ago?
Oh, are you serious?
Yep.
That's her right there?
That's her. Remember at the World Championships last month? She was in the lead, and then she tripped and fell. And the other girls ran by her laughing.
Wasn't the girl from the Netherlands?
That's her. This is her. She's from the Netherlands. She's representing the Netherlands. Yep. Remember, it was two who fell.
Exactly.
Femke Bol fell, and then Safan Hassan fell. Because we were on here making fun of her and laughing. She done came out city and kicked her ass. Like, okay, Lance and Jason, I got something for y'all too, especially. You two comedians on the talk.
How about that, though? How about that? I'm about to get in coach's mode. How about that? That's why you don't give up and you keep pushing. And that's why you have to be able to have some inner fortitude about yourself. She was down, Jay. That's why you have to have short-term memory as an athlete.
Yeah.
Because Jay, some people get messed up when you lose like that because she should have won that one. You know, she was in the league and she lost it. Now she comes to Chicago and set a record. That's why they say sport will help your mindset.
Yes, it
Jay,
will.
think about that. And I'm sitting here laughing, and I laughed my butt off a couple of weeks ago. I fell for it, and she like, that's why she's sitting there like, Jason had a minute like, forget you, Lance and Jason. Shepard, you guys know where to stick it.
Yes.
Dang.
So I just thought that was really incredible because a month ago, and she's
Right.
always been good. Like she's
Mhm.
like whatever they run the 10,000 meters or whatever, and she be smoking people. So they were like, hey, try a marathon. It reminds me of our girl Sydney McLaughlin.
Sydney McLaughlin.
Because
Mhm.
remember, she was doing the 400-meter hurdles, and they were like, well, you can do the 400-meter race and do that. That would be even more incredible. She switched disciplines, and she killing that. So I like, man, I don't know what's going on with track and field, but these athletes out here, they doing some incredible stuff. So congratulations once again
Man,
to
congrats.
KK and Safan Hassan. Just thank you so much for coming to Chicago and really putting the Chicago Marathon on the map. Everybody know about the Boston Marathon, everybody know about the New York Marathon, and these are great races, traditional races. Chicago's got a great tradition as well, but you got a world record set here now. That just took this whole race up another level. And guess who else is smiling right now?
Who, Jay?
Mayor Brandon Johnson. He like, yes, sir. Because that means more people coming next year, more money from my city.
Oh, BJ sit right there, happy boy. BJ happy until he pick up a newspaper and read about the Bulls and the Bears next week.
Right. He like put that on the middle pages. We need something else on the front. So I know the mayor is very happy, very happy. So I was very happy for the city. This is really
nice.
Kind of big for us. Let's stay on the topic of successes. On the topic of successes, and this young lady right here.
Ooh. Jay, who's that? Simone Biles? I guess.
Biles is back. Simone Biles is back, and she is back with a vengeance, Lance Irvin, because she just came back with Team USA, who won gold at the World Championships in gymnastics. And Sister Simone, she is now the most decorated gymnast at World and Olympic Games. She now has 37 medals. 37 medals at World Championships and Olympics, which means that she's got more medals when it's on the world's biggest stage. This ain't counting the regular competitions or the USA National. This is just at World Championships and Olympics. And she's already said she is going to go to Paris next year.
Jay, I mean, shout out to her because a couple of years ago, right, when she left, and you and I was sitting there saying she was probably having some mental issues. I think I said it. I ain't sure if you said it, but I thought she was having some mental issues. And, she got married, correct?
Yeah.
So I think she's 26 years old. So in gymnastics, that's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
I don't want to say old, but that's getting up there. For her to be in the shape that she's in, and for her to compete at the level she's competing at, Jay, shout out. I mean, Jay, she is a beast on the beams.
Yeah.
Her exercise on the beam was flawless, I think. And I'm just sitting here thinking, Jay, and I thought about this earlier. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, I mean, Serena Williams.
Yeah.
Do you think she's in that conversation?
Oh, without a doubt. I think so. Again, let's go back to what she did in the last Olympics. I didn't like that. I thought it was bad for her. I thought the mental health thing, because I'm very sensitive about when people do that, because it's one of the things you can't say, well, she don't have a mental health thing. That ain't right to do that.
Exactly.
What I didn't like was that I thought she took a spot away from someone else that could have been there.
Okay.
And I would have preferred if she wasn't going to go, just say, hey, I can't do this right now. I'm going to sit this one out. Put the replacement, the alternate, because they have alternates. Let whoever the alternate is go. Now she says she had mental health issues. I got to take that at its word. But personally, I believe it was more that she was in love. And I heard that from a bunch of women who know women who were like, This sounds like somebody in love. And they broke it down for me because they were like, Jay, you gotta look at it. These girls in gymnastics, they've been in this their whole life. They probably didn't go to homecoming. They probably didn't go to prom. Because a lot of them don't even go to the high schools because they're training all day. Home train or private train. They're like, they miss a lot of social life that you had. So stuff you take for granted in your teenagers years, they didn't get that. So she found somebody who really liked her and she was in love. So and they were like, that first love will have you questioning a whole lot of stuff about life. And it's from other women I talked to. So, I couldn't say it, but they could say it. And I was like, okay, because I ain't never been a woman. I can't speak on how.
Can't speak on that.
Right. And they were saying it. They were like, Jay, she in love. Yeah, they can say the mental health thing, but many of them thought it was kind of like a cover story. They like, her ass in love. And you notice once she got with her now husband, Jonathan, congratulations to them, her life and everything else seems to be, kind of cool now. But, I do understand they were also dealing with that asshole Dr. Nasser, who, we know now was molesting athletes. And, I have to consider that as well, because that is devastating. If she's dealing with that at the same time, they were going to put him on trial. So, again, I will say that there was probably a mental health piece to it. I do agree with that. But I also think that she was also in love as well. I think it was maybe a combination of a few things, and that's what overwhelmed her. And she was like, I can't do this. So, okay, cool. But, she's come back. So, I'm kind of past it. She's come back. She's definitely redeemed herself in my eyes. She didn't have to. She can do whatever the hell she want to do. But in my eyes, she's redeemed herself, and I'm glad to see she's back because the team is better with her. It's a whole lot of people depending on you.
And Jay, like we've been saying on the show for the past couple of weeks, you want to send your best. Like when we talk about the basketball team, you want to send your best to these competitions. You want to send your best so you can beat the best. And like you said, this is a much better team when she competes. Do you think she'll get the record? Do you think she's going to how much longer do you think she's going to go?
I think she can go as long as she want to go. I think she's the best of all time. She's doing stuff that nobody else can do. And she won not even trying to do her hardest stuff because she's like, wow, I don't get no extra bonus points for it. If anything, y'all go. Remember we had talked about it on the show with Dominique Dawes a couple years ago. If anything, they criticize her more for doing stuff that can't nobody else do.
Which is ridiculous.
Ain't it though?
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So, I get penalized for stuff you can't do, but I can do it.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy. I get penalized because my body different than yours. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It really is. So, yes, I was very happy for Simone and everybody at Team USA. They are the first, I think they said they're the first women's team to win back-to-back world championships because gymnastics is very competitive and it's very, what's the word I want to use? The pairing is so close. The parity. The parity is so close. So congratulations, Team USA. Way to go, ladies. Way to go. Way to go. All right. We are going to take our second commercial break, and then we are coming up for a final segment here on What's Up Show. This is an abbreviated edition of What's Up Cuz this week. So we do thank you all for joining us, but we got a few more topics that we got to get into because the winter sports season is coming upon us. I cannot believe it, but it is coming upon us. So we want to talk some winter sports. So everybody stay with us. We got one more segment coming of What's Up Cuz. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Winter sports. Woo-hoo. Hockey. Basketball.
See me. See me.
See me. See my dark skin and my kinky hair.
See me. Don't see past me.
Don't see through me.
See me.
See my tan skin and my curly hair.
See me.
Don't see past me.
Don't see through me.
See me.
See my face, wet with tears from years of oppression.
See my hands, weathered and worn from decades of pulling myself up through your society.
See my feet, split from centuries of walking your delicate line.
See me.
See me.
See me.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
At a time when the news seems as subjective as the partisan politics dividing this country, independent professional journalism has become a resource people need to get the honest and accurate information for their lives. That's why I created jcoinreports.com. As a born and raised Chicagoan, I know this city better than anyone. So my investigative stories are all original, and they'll go deeper to expose the truth by using information obtained from public information databases and in-depth interviews with the movers and shakers. My feature stories will introduce you to people and businesses who are changing the world, not just Chicago. My missing person stories will spotlight those who you don't hear about in the mainstream media who are often overlooked. If you want to hear my personal views on things around the world, check out my blog site, which is based off of factual information and my life experiences. There's also past episodes of my weekly sports podcast show, What's Up Cuz, that I host with my real-life cousin, Lance Irvin. So if you're looking for all this information and more, check out jcoinreports.com and follow me on Twitter at jcoin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to What's Up, Cuz, with my cousin Lance Irvin. We got about 15 more minutes left in tonight's show, this abbreviated edition of What's Up, Cuz. Make sure you tune in all week long to our other wonderful shows here. We got the Smoke Fellas who come on Saturday mornings. We got Sean and Maya who come on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you know Sean gonna be hyped now because his Bears done won their game. So,
hey,
oh,
Jason, you were killing Sean. You were killing Sean. You were killing Sean. Like, Sean, what were you drinking? Sean, who told you they was gonna win 7 games? You were killing Sean for about a month. I was like, damn.
Oh God! Like I said, he's one of the people I was happy for. I'm telling you, I was very happy for my friends who are Bears fans because I thought they were literally gonna lose it.
Hey Jay, because he was like, I didn't give up on Justin Fields. Well, you came awfully close. You gonna say you didn't, but you was really close.
Oh God! Yes. All right. So congratulations to Sean and everybody else who I know are diehard Bears fans. So hey,
what's up?
Football's a fall sport. But guess what's coming, baby?
What's coming, Jay? What's coming?
The
Talk
winter
to me.
sports, the winter sports, and Chicago's resident NBA team, our Chicago Bulls, have already tipped off the preseason. The Bulls came up to Wisconsin and played in Milwaukee, and they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in the preseason opener by 4, but it's preseason basketball, which is basically glorified open gym with everybody wearing uniforms. Nobody is really running too many plays. Defenses, you should try to stay in front of your man. It's preseason basketball. But the Bulls fall to the Bucks in their first a few more preseason games before they open the season early in November. A lot of criticism on this team, which I think has been well-deserved. This is, to me, with the exception of this past baseball season with the White Sox, has been the most disappointing of the Chicago teams because we all know the Bulls have talent, but they don't put it together, just like the White Sox don't put it together.
I think because couple of things. Number one, I don't think it's a deep team, right? I think first of all, the year before when Lonzo Ball played those games, it was a really good team. Lonzo Ball, like I told you when we picked him up, I said, Jay, he's a good leader. He's a better defender than people think, and he could make a shot. Like people criticized his shooting, but it was better than what people thought. And that year we played really well. Then he turns around and get hurt. You got to switch people in different roles. And I always thought that their bench wasn't deep enough. You had Io that was starting sometimes coming off the bench. You had Caruso, but then we picked up Pat Beverly during the latter part of the season. But really, off the bench wasn't strong enough, I don't think, to be able to compete in the NBA, to be able to win consistently, to come like 1 through 7, 8 in the East, because the East is deep, right? So again, this year now you come back. Hopefully, Patrick Williams is much improved. You sign Vuk to a new contract. You bring back Io. You pick up Javon Carter, but I still don't think they address a need off the bench. I think they need somebody between that 6'5" to 6'7" scorer coming off the bench. So when Zach needs a rest, when DeMar needs a rest, then you really don't lose much. And too, Jay, I'm always talking about their size. Like they have whatchamacallit, Drummond is still there, and Sanogo from UConn, who I really like, a big body, won the national championship, versatile, really a good rim runner, can protect the basket, is going to rebound at a high clip. But I'm still concerned about their bench, and I'm still concerned about, do they have enough to crack the 6 or 7 spot? Because as I see it, Jay, right now, you have Milwaukee, which everybody know they picked up Dame. So you have Giannis, Dame, Chris Middleton. That's tough.
And none of them played in this preseason game, by the way.
None of them played today. So you pick up that dude that's clutched down the stretch, Giannis, an MVP, who said they need to get some more help where he wasn't signing. And you bring back Chris Middleton, who's often hurt. But that's a good formidable big three right there.
And Holiday gonna score.
Holiday got traded to Boston, Jay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, he's on Boston with Tatum. You have Brown.
Right. And with them moving Holiday, that means they got more shots available for Damian Lillard and Giannis. And that's what I'm saying. Exactly. They understood. Yo, man, this too many scores, y'all. We can hold. It's only one basketball.
Man, Jay, it's exactly. So I think the Bucks, some would say they got better. Boston probably got better. You got Jaylen Brown, highest player in the NBA. You come back with Holiday. You still got Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, who had a great year with the Washington Bullets. He's there. That's a good team. Miami still got Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. Cleveland is my dark horse. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Mobley, Allen. That size they have, Jay, that's 4 teams right there. And I haven't even talked about the 76ers yet. You had the 76ers. Joel Embiid, the MVP. He's not going anywhere. So Jay,
did the Bulls do enough? Did they do enough in the offseason?
No. I hate to say it, Jay. No.
Wow.
For the reasons
Without
I said.
hesitation.
No. Who's the big time scorer coming off the bench, Jay? I don't know. Kobe White started that point.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
That's the other thing. They moved Kobe White to the starting point guard position. I needed to get your thoughts on that.
Which I always like Kobe White. When we picked him up, I like Kobe White. Now, I'm not saying he's Alonzo Ball, but I thought he was a good NBA guard, and I just think he's been inconsistent over these past years. But I like Kobe White. They paid him. They signed him. So it's going to be interesting. Some will say he's a combo guard. Some will say he's a true point guard. A lot of people got mad when he was playing a point, saying he wasn't a point guard. So time will tell then. This is Zach and DeMar are on the clock, Jay. Because if we come out the gate slow or don't make the playoffs, I think somebody might be traded at the deadline, Jay. Because they're gonna have to blow this team up. Somebody's gonna leave
Wow.
at the trade deadline.
Well,
Jay.
here's what I think. I think if the Bulls are in the playoff hunt, they're gonna make a move. Which I thought they should have done the last 2 seasons. They kept thinking they had enough, and we were all on the shows talking about y'all got enough. What are y'all talking about? So after 2 years of thinking you got enough, and you bring it back them same people, you got to be either saying one or two things, like you just said. Either you get ready to blow this scene completely up, and God, we don't need that again in Chicago. It'll be like our 4th blow up of a sports team in 4 years, or you're gonna say, we got to trade. We got to make a blockbuster trade. We got to give up something to get something that we need to move us to the next level. And personally, I think that's the way to go. I thought they should have moved Zach last year at that trade.
You said that.
You got to move him because he's going to bring back the most value of what you need. I'm sorry. He's going to do it.
I agree with you, Jay, because when we did the research last year, I said, Jay, he's probably top 5 2 guard in the NBA, which a lot of magazines had him in the top 5. So that's somebody you could get a lot of that will command a lot of trade value for.
Yes, he will.
There's really, Jay, other than him and DeMar, maybe, who else can you really trade that you're going to get something back for at this point in time that'll help you build your team? Like, Phoenix got rid of DeAndre Ayton, and Phoenix got like 3 guys for it. They got Nurkic. They strengthened their team.
Yeah.
So if you trade somebody like Zach, you have to be able to strengthen your team. So it's going to be interesting. I hope Patrick White, like I mentioned earlier, I hope he has a breakout season because when they drafted him, I thought he was a pretty good player. He had size, he could shoot, and he was young too. So hopefully, Patrick Williams. Hopefully, he can have a breakout season. And we need to have Kendall Gill on the show. I call Kendall, ask him what he thinks about that. But Jay, they on the clock because if they come out the gate slow, because like I said, Jay, those teams I mentioned, Jay, I'm not sure the Bulls better than them.
I made that mistake. What was it, last year, the year before that? And I said I thought the Bulls would be maybe a 3 seed. You were like, you out of your mind.
And AJ, I said last year they was in 7th. I said 6th or 7th. I think they came in 7th or 8th.
They were like 9th. They were in the play-in game.
They played in the play-in game.
Yeah.
So Jay, in Toronto, it's gonna be tough, Jay. Because they basically had the same team.
Yeah, they got the same team. Like I said, they're doing the White Sox. They're basically doing the White Sox. We're going to run them back. The only thing they didn't do was change the coach.
Man, Jay, and I like Billy Donovan, but until they address the needs on that bench, it's going to be tough.
Agreed. Let me ask you this about the Bulls. Will training camp in Music City help? Because they moved to training camp this year. They're training out of Nashville. They're not training up here in Chicago out of their beautiful practice facility, which is right across the street from the United Center. What are your thoughts on this of doing it somewhere outside of Chicago?
You know what? I don't mind. I think sometimes you do need to change the scenery and stuff can get stale if you keep doing the same old. But they're at Belmont University, I think, and that's in Nashville. Nashville is a beautiful city, Jay. So I think it'll bring the guys closer. Hopefully they develop their chemistry while they're on the trip. So I think they're there, like you said, for a week. But, I don't mind. It's almost like they said when Magic was with the Lakers, they used to have training camp in Maui somewhere. Got away from that. So Magic used to say, people get away from their families and stuff and, they could just focus on basketball. I think the Heat has training camp somewhere else. I think a couple of years ago they practiced at an Army base or something like that. So, I hope it helps, Jay. Time will tell, though, but I don't mind doing that. Hell, I think the players love it, too. Ooh, let me get a break real quick. We've been home for 3-4 months. I need a break.
Oh, you said the players need a break, too. I hear you be like, all these damn ticket requests I'm going to be getting. So, I do like it. Yeah. I do like it. I like the idea. I think keeping that team chemistry and the team morale up.
That's a morale.
Especially when you come off of a tough season or two like they've been having, and there's all that trade talk that's going on. Preseason, have them out there do a training camp, I think it's good. And also from a business standpoint, helps promote your brand. You expand
I didn't think about that. Good point.
Right, and you expand into a market that doesn't have a NBA team because Nashville is different than Memphis. So it is pretty good that I think they are doing that. It's expanding your brand, so it's good marketing as well. But yes, I do hope that they bond together as a team. But I will say this, as I've said many times before, in basketball, more than any other sport, it comes down to the talent of the players. Football, I think it's the coaching and the schemes. Baseball, I think it's the team chemistry. Hockey, I think it's a matter of who's healthy by the time the Stanley Cup playoffs come around, along with a bunch of other stuff. But in basketball, you get two superstars, you probably got a good chance. That's the way it goes.
And you just said something, Jay, because I read everything, right?
Okay.
Let's see what Jason knows. And you have a clue. Who was the healthiest team in the NBA last year that won only 37 games?
The healthiest team?
The healthiest team in the NBA won only 37 games.
It won only 37. Not Indiana. Orlando?
Nope.
Who?
We was just talking about them.
Not the Bulls.
The Bulls were the healthiest team in the NBA.
No. How?
Yes.
Hey, we couldn't have been. Ball didn't play all year.
They was excluding him. They was the healthiest team in the NBA. You remember he didn't play none.
That's true.
They was the healthiest team in the NBA.
So technically, he wasn't even on the team last year.
He wasn't even on the team.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody.
If you think about it.
The healthiest team in the NBA. Zach missed a few games. DeMar, I looked at it, I couldn't believe it. I should have clipped it. I'm gonna tell you how many games they all played last year. They were the healthiest team in the NBA.
Wow, that makes it even worse of what happened last year. So that's telling you you got a talent deficiency. I think DeMar is great with the mid-range game. He's a pure scorer, no doubt about that. Zach can score, won't play a lick of defense. And after that, you got Io out there.
Say what you just said.
I said DeMar DeRozan is a scorer, without a doubt. Zach LaVine can score, but he ain't gonna play a lick of defense.
And let's stay on defense. Can Vukovic really guard anybody?
No, he ain't no rim protector. He ain't no rim protector.
So no rim protector. You lose Patrick Beverly, even though he was there for a cup of coffee. Caruso is pretty solid, Io, but you have no backline defense back there. Andre Drummond, and they only playing Drummond like 15 minutes, and he's getting up there in age. So it's going to be predicated about their defense too, Jay. I mean, they were solid towards the stretch, but it's going to be an interesting year for the Bulls. I can't wait to really see them. But in that loaded East, Jay, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't know how they're going to do in the East. I don't know how they're gonna do in the Central. Let's be honest. I mean, the Pistons gonna be rough. The Pacers, it's gonna be interesting. So we'll see. I'm expecting. God, I hate that I'm about to say this, but I'm expecting them to have to blow the team up by the trade deadline, and I'm really hoping that I'm saying they're gonna be in a position where they just need to trade for a piece or two. That is being optimistic, though. My gut is telling me they're gonna have to blow it up.
I'm hoping they could go 40. I'm hoping they could go 41 or 41. 500. It's a lot of people that covers the NBA hollering 37, 36, 37. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, let's talk about the other residents over there on the west side of Chicago, because The Blackhawks open their season this week in Pittsburgh, baby. Hockey is back. Hockey is back. And this young man right here, 19 years old, 18 years old, Connor Bedard. Son, you got the whole city's hopes riding on your shoulders. I'm sorry.
Jay, how about that for old young Connor, Jay? How old is Connor, Jay? 18? Is he 17, 18, Jay? How old is Connor, 18? Think about that, Jay. You just said he got the whole city hopes riding on his back. But, hey, Jay, when your little niece was working for the Blackhawks, she was like, oh, there's a buzz in the building. She said they was all like, hey, Connor's in the building. Connor's in the building. Connor's in the building. She said they will call. Is Connor on the ice today? We can't tell y'all who's on the ice today. Said let's get 1,000 calls. But, Jay, if the stuff we read, and you probably seen him, I just seen the highlights. If he is as good as he say he is, you the resident hockey expert, what type of impact will he have on the Blackhawks? Can we make the playoffs?
So Sean and I went to the first preseason game.
Okay, talk to me. Talk to me. You tell me about that. Okay, talk to me.
Sean and I went to the game. And we were like, oh yeah, this dude the truth. Like he's even a novice hockey fan, or someone who knows nothing about hockey at all. If you take them to the game and you let them sit in the seat and just say, watch the game, they'll be like, oh, that dude right there better than everybody. That dude right there in the red sweater, I can't see his number. Yeah, that dude right there, he good. That's what I'm talking about. When you see him, when we saw him, and this was his very first NHL preseason game.
Okay.
Sean and I watched. He had 2 assists in the game, and one of the assists was on the game winner in overtime. They had him out there in overtime in clutch situations, and he performed. He got the game winning assist. The dude can play. We watched him put a couple moves on people where he had gotten by him and gotten a great scoring chance. We were like, ooh, okay. One time he had a mini breakaway, but the puck was rolling on him, so he couldn't control it, but he still got the shot off. Mm-hmm. Sean and I both looked at each other like, yeah, we'll be all right with him. Now let's add a couple more pieces.
So Jay, is Seth Jones still there, right?
Seth Jones is still there. We picked up Taylor Hall, who was a big pickup, and we brought in another veteran in Foligno. And we got Corey Perry, who I would compare to Dennis Rodman.
Oh, I like all that then. I
That's
like
Corey
all that.
Perry's game. You'll like him.
I like the toughness, Jay. So do we have enough pieces, Jay? Can we make a run for the playoffs?
We can make a run for the playoffs. I won't say we will make the playoffs because we're still very young. They got to figure each other out. There was other things Sean and I observed. They got pieces, though. They got pieces, and they got more pieces coming. They got some pieces that are not going to make the team to start the season, who will start down in the AHL in Rockford and work on their games and their chemistry. And then you incorporate them into the big team. And it may not even be this year. It might not be till next year. That's why I said playoffs this year. No, probably not, but possible. There's a possibility.
So Jay, so we can't be like the Seattle Kraken, no Las Vegas Golden Knights. We can't get that.
No, not yet. But they're definitely trending in the right direction.
So good.
I would say the games are going to be exciting. I'm going to say they're going to beat a couple of teams they shouldn't be beaten. Mm-hmm. You'll be like, man, how did y'all beat Boston? How'd y'all do that? But then they're going to lose some games, and you'll be like, how the hell did you lose to Ottawa? They're terrible. Like, what are you doing here? So it's going to be one of those seasons because they're such a young team. But I think what Kyle Davidson, the general manager, did was very smart. When he brought in Taylor Hall, he brought in Corey Perry, he brought in Foligno. Those are some veteran guys who they're not just veterans and you got them there as mentors. They're veterans who still got a lot of tread on the tire, who can still play, and who are going to log some heavy minutes for you. And then these young players are going to learn from them. And
that's what I was going to ask you. The mixture of the veterans. You have to have good veterans to mentor the young ones. And you got to have veterans, like you said. You have to be able to play something too now. Because it's a difference in a veteran that hasn't really done much but and a veteran that can play a little bit too. So I mean, I'm glad we trended in the right direction because I'm starting to enjoy hockey because you always talking about it.
Right.
So that's one thing when your cousin comes back home, I'm going to a hockey game.
Right.
I mean, Jay, because if Connor's as good as you say is, right, it means and the young kids and the veterans play hard, right? It should be an exciting style of hockey to watch.
Oh, it will be.
Exactly, Jay. Like I don't mind you struggling, but if it's exciting, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're struggling and you playing a bad brand of hockey, I don't care what sport you play, Jay. I'm not even gonna say hockey. If you're struggling, you playing a bad brand. That's tough on the spectators. That's tough on the fans.
It is. So, so what they did was they signed Nick Foligno to a 1-year contract.
Okay.
They signed Corey Perry to a 1-year contract. Taylor Hall, they got in a trade, but it's a team-friendly deal for the Blackhawks. I think this might be a contract year for him. If not, he's got him 1 extra year, but he's going to be motivated to play. You know what I'm saying? So I think you did it the right way, So you get Corey Perry here, you got Foligno here, give them that veteran leadership. And then when their money comes off the books again for next year, then you can bring in some more free agents if you feel like the okay, let's push for the playoffs now. But I think the Blackhawks are, probably won't make the playoffs, but they'll still have a high draft pick, maybe. Mm-hmm. And then you can add another young piece that can step in. The tricky part will be what the goaltending is like.
I was just going to ask you about that.
It's going to be tricky. You got Mazurek coming back. He'll probably be your starter. Then you got a couple of young goaltenders who'll be fighting for the time as well to push. So they're trending in the right direction. I will say give them the season to learn the NHL because that's all I'm saying. You got to learn the travel schedule. You ain't never been to all these cities. You ain't never played 82 games in a season, all this. You got to get your body ready. He only 18. He got an 18-year-old body. It's going to break down. You know what I'm saying? Give them this year to learn the NHL. Just let them have fun. Let them learn the right way. Next year, it's like a sophomore. Okay, we're going to step. You ain't a freshman no more. Let's see what you can build upon. That third year, that's when I think they're going to make a run. Just the way they kind of setting it up. It looks like that third year will be the year if they continue where they're going and everybody's potential lives up to it. If they live up to their potential, in 3 years, they can be chasing a cup. They can be chasing a cup in 3 years.
A cup? You saying a cup?
A cup. They won't make the playoffs this year. They'll make the playoffs next year. And then they'll get that playoff experience. We always talk about that. You need some playoff experience. They'll get that playoff experience. Then that very next year, they're going to be in the running for the cup because they'll all be young enough where they will have learned enough and they'll be able to handle a full NHL season plus playoff. They'll be in the running for it.
So what about the coaching, Jay? As a coach, how do you think this team need to be coached this year?
I think Richardson did a great job last year with what he had. And this year, he thank God I got some damn players.
It's about the players. Don't fool yourself now. We keep saying that, Jay.
I got Connor Bedard, who's a once-in-a-generational player.
Ooh.
And then I got some other pieces, other young players. I'm going to build around him, plus a veteran. Yeah, I can start coaching now. Last year, he's trying to guide the ship through the rest of the icebergs without taking the thing. Now, he can open up the engines a little bit, start installing his system and, seeing how the players relate to his system. He'll be all right. Richardson, pretty decent hockey coach. Even last year, I was watching what he was working with. I was like, man, they staying in games. But what I really like was his demeanor. He never yelled at nobody. He didn't say nothing. He understood what was going on. He's like, I get where I'm at right now. So this year, I expect him. He's probably gonna have the same demeanor. Now next year, he's gonna be like, all right, God dog it. Y'all been doing this 2 years. Right, you got to do something.
Enough is enough.
Yeah, the coaching, I think they're in a good spot, man. Blackhawks are I feel better about them than I feel about any other Chicago team right now.
More than the Cubs?
Yeah.
Cubs was close to making the playoffs, Jay. They was right there.
But they didn't. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up before we close the show because I damn near forgot about it. What is wrong with me thinking about that? How could I have forgotten that? Of all the things, how could I have forgotten about that, Lance Irvin. I wouldn't be doing a duty to my loyal listeners if I didn't say the Cubs choked. Just like I told y'all it was going to happen on this show, I said they going to blow it when you get to the last week of the season. Did I not say that, Lance Irvin?
You sure did, Jay. I mean, they had, I think that was the Atlanta Braves game or one of the game. Oh, Jay, they had that game. You can't down the stretch. You can't lose like that, Jay. Jay, I felt bad for him because I just wanted somebody. I wanted somebody from Chicago to make the playoffs since our Sox sucked. Jay, I mean, Jay, you laughing at the Cubs. I'm not going to laugh at the Cubs. I'm going to leave them alone. I'm going to leave them alone.
I'm laughing at them because they fans was getting chipper. I never really have a problem with the Cubs. I have a problem with their fans. They're just annoying. And they were acting like they had this thing. It's early September. They're like, oh, yeah. I was like, man, y'all bullpen ain't going to hold up, man. I'm telling you.
Left.
I was like, yo, bullpen, you ain't got enough, man, because Stroman wasn't giving you what he was giving you at the beginning. I was like, man, your bullpen ain't going to hold up. And I said for a fact, and I told my boy Anthony on Facebook, Stucky, he was like, oh, it ain't going to matter by then. I said, dude, you in the season in Atlanta and in Milwaukee. He told me it ain't going to matter because they ain't going to have nothing to play for by then. They'll have their stuff wrapped up, which they did. But I'm like, Atlanta won 100-something games, dog.
He thought Atlanta just going to give the games away?
Apparently so.
Interesting. No, Jay, like you told him, though, that's why you have to wrap your stuff up early because as it gets to the end, there's more pressure and more pressure to close it out. And you and I both know some people don't handle pressure well. So with that being said, though, boy, the way they lost some of those games, Jay, I was like, whatever could have went wrong, went wrong. I know they kicked themselves, Jay. Golden opportunity, too. I didn't think they were going to be that close. I thought it was going to be a full rebuild. I thought the Sox, well, I'm not even going to talk about the Sox. I said I'm not even going to do myself like that. I didn't put on my Sox jersey, Jay. What is TA doing? Matter of fact, let me ask you that before we close out. What is TA doing?
Good question. Next year is his contract year. So he got to either. I told you what I know is wrong with it. You gotta get your personal life together, man. You can't do nothing, man. Because it's like that in any genre of work, man. If you ain't got your personal, I'll be even more specific than that. Let me just say it because it's public, so we can talk about it. You got to get your marriage right, young brother. You got to get your marriage correct, young brother. You can't be out here fooling around with other women, getting other women who ain't your wife pregnant, and then have that woman insulting your wife online for the public to see. You embarrassed your wife. You embarrass your wife. You embarrass your children. You embarrass your family. Your home life, dog, Tim Anderson, you got to get that together, brother. I'm talking to you as one black man to another, Tim Anderson. You got to get your home life together, brother. If your wife, do you think y'all can make it no more? Then y'all go your separate ways and raise the kids. But don't put your wife through that. Don't put your daughters through that. I've dated women when I was single who their father was messing around their wife or disrespecting their wife, and it was some of the worst relationships I was in because they couldn't trust men. He got to get his life. He got to get his marriage and his personal life. You got to get that together because it's going to mess up your job. And that doesn't matter if you're a school teacher, a bus driver, a police officer, or a professional athlete. If you ain't got your marriage together and your family life together, we can't expect the rest of you to be together.
That part. I don't have a comment after that, Jay. That part right there. And he's a really good player, and I hope, Jay, he can figure it out. We need him to figure it out. I hope he can figure it out. Like you said, Jay, the main thing, the wife and the kids. Oh, my goodness, man. Think about that. You're a public figure and your kids going to school, listening to that. You and I both know kids can be cruel, too.
Oh, my God. You know how bad they clown his daughters?
Especially these days, too.
And just they got online?
Hey, Jay, you sitting in class, somebody pick up their phone. I mean, come on, Jay, that's tough.
Look what your daddy did.
That's tough. That's why, I mean, when it came to Brookie J, I was very mindful. I had a child. Trust and believe.
A
That's so
daughter.
important. A daughter, Jay. I
A
was
daughter.
very, very mindful.
Which is
Just
another
lose
completely
baby.
different element of it.
Ooh.
When you talk
Yeah,
about doing women wrong and you got a daughter, bro.
it's tough.
Plus the ancestors don't like it. I'm gonna throw that piece in there too. Plus the
Ooh.
ancestors don't like it.
Ooh.
So you messing with your spiritual world too. You ain't bringing good karma upon yourself.
You think he could turn it around, Jay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so
I
you're
do.
gonna be wearing that number 7 jersey next year?
Yes.
Okay. I see
Yes.
you took a deep breath.
He's not the first man to deal with it. He can deal with it again, but he better understand when he can lose. He better understand what he can lose, man. God trying to humble him. That's why, Sean and I had this conversation kind of off the record, but I like Sean. Sean's like, well, I don't think they got to do it. In our community, it definitely do. And I'm telling you, he need to, because the boy, he didn't forget how to play baseball.
Yeah,
You don't go from being one of the best hitters to the next year. How you hit this thing again? You don't do that. Just because he had too much stuff going on, man. You can't concentrate, man. Again, and I use the example of Frank Thomas, one of the best baseball players in the history of the White Sox. That year he was going through a divorce, and it was when Frank was in his prime. He was dog crap that year. He was dog crap.
Wears on you.
Yeah. And then when he got the divorce finalized, he went back to being Frank again. And that's what I'm saying with Tim. He got to make a decision on what he's going to do in his personal life. And I've met his wife. I love Sister Bria. That's a beautiful black woman. She's very kind. Her demeanor, I've spoken to her a couple of times. I've seen her with the girls at the game. I've spoken to the little girls, and for him to do that to her, and then, now this year she ain't even at the ballpark. She couldn't even come to the games because of what you done did. Wow. She can't even show her face. Don't do that, man. It's stupid. It's stupid. So, all right. So we will see what happens with the White Sox in the offseason. That is a story we would definitely monitor. We'll see what they do with free agency. You got a couple of people's contracts coming off the book, thank God. I think Yasmani Grandal is done. So we'll see. You got a new GM. They apparently going to keep the manager, but they did announce that bit of news. I'm sorry. Daryl Boston will not be returning as the first base coach. He'd been there over 20 years. And they are getting a new hitting coach for next year. So that is some White Sox news that we can't report. They made that decision a few days ago. So, I wouldn't have brought the manager back. I would have done a whole lot more, but I want to see what they do in the offseason because there's a whole lot of people who don't need to be there. So we'll see what happens. So, all right. I think we are done here on What's Up, Cuz. Just a couple of really quick things. On our last show, we profiled our missing person, Janet Isaacs. She has been found safe and sound. She has been found safe and sound. She was one of our older sisters here in the community in her 60s dealing with some mental health issues. She was found. I got that news about 2 or 3 days ago. So really good news. Always good when we can report the good news that the person is found and alive and that they are safe. And also today is a holiday in the United States. And for us, it is Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Celebrate Native American culture, everything about Native American culture, their history. If you can, take some time today, check out a movie, start reading a book. I don't think we get enough formal education on Native Americans in this country. There are a lot of other races where we don't know their history, but they intentionally don't teach us about Native American people, and that really bugs me. We should be doing more to learn about their culture because, in my personal opinion, this is their country. The rest of us are immigrants, but okay, either forced or however you want to call it, it's their country, it's their land. So I think we should learn more about their culture, respect their ways, and incorporate them more into modern America. I've been to some Native American places and they struggle. I've been to some places in the hood in our community. Is very similar things going on out on some of these reservations. A lot. So I would really encourage all Americans, learn more about the Native people who this is their homeland, learn about their culture, and let's make, America more like we're trying to make it here at this point. We can't change, more inclusive, right? We can't change what happened in the past hundreds of years ago, but we can do better. We can do better, America. So this is one of them days you get a chance to learn something and do better. So happy Indigenous Peoples Day to everyone out there. All right, that is going to do it for this abbreviated edition. I'd like to thank you, Lance Irvin. Man, you made it through with a cold. Like, I ain't hear no coughing or sniffling.
Hey, man, I'm tough. I'm tough. When you stand up doing homework and doing all that other stuff, Jay, I'm tough. Now, I'm about to go to bed. I'm not even going to lie to you.
He going to fall out, folks, as soon as we get off.
Going to bed. B-E-D.
Well, I ain't mad at you, cuz I thank you. Thank you so much for cutting through. All right. We will see you all next week. Tune in to What's Up, Cuz. We're out. Peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, we will march on till victory. We will march on till victory. Let us march on till victory.